Hello everybody, and no, I'm not going to use that catchphrase many other brony reviewers have said on this website. Why? Because I can. I'm the Mounty Pony, and welcome to my review of Friendship is Magic. I mentioned this on my Twitter in the past, but what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be reviewing every single episode of Friendship is Magic, aka the 4th generation of My Little Pony. Unlike Josh Scorcher, however, I'm going to be reviewing every episode in its canonical order, or chronological order. However, for the season premieres and finales, they will be one video instead of getting 2 videos on each part. With that out of the way, let's start with the first episode, Friendship is Magic, ironically made by the creator Megan McCarthy. The plot of the episode involves the return of a nightmare moon, and Twilight has to stop it. So she's sent to Equestria, I'll get back to that in a moment, and her job is to not only make sure the Sun Festival goes well, but also to make some friends. In the end, Nightmare Moon is stopped, and Twilight's made some friends, as well as decides to stay in Ponyville because of Celestia. I'm going to cover the characters, but before I do, I want to say that the plot for this two-parter is, well, okay, I guess. I think it could be its own movie, if anything. In fact, I'd love to see that. But as a plot itself, it's pretty good. If anything, just okay. I'm hoping that the plots get better with this, but for the first 2 episodes, not bad. Alright, let's cover the characters. Based on the first 2 episodes, Twilight didn't impress me that much. She's only focused on getting the decorations part finished, while also looking up Nightmare Moon while shunning everyone else. In fact, after the opening theme, we see her pretty much running off to the library, and that's really about it. She ignores everyone else. There's a party subplot here, but it's ignored shortly as it's introduced. But really, until part 2, I didn't like Twilight. I'm serious, I hated her, and if the rest of the episodes were like this, she'd be my least favorite pony. When part 2 came out, and she was much better. She developed as, I guess you could say, a 3-dimensional character, but I still got 24 more episodes of this season to watch before I make that judgment. Oh god, this is gonna hurt. I did like the fight she had with Nightmare Moon, but it's just part 1 that kind of bugs me. I have a feeling she'll get better, though, in later episodes. Next is Spike, who I swear to God was only designed in part 1 and 2 of this to be comic relief. But the problem is it's not even funny, because the jokes aren't coming from him, rather, they're thrown at him. Look, I like physical comedy as much as the next guy, but I think it just gets a little too far-fetched. This is the exact reason I hate Squidward torture porn episodes. It's not funny because it's not coming from him, rather it's because of the jokes thrown at him. Whenever Spike is not being hit by something in this 2-parter, he's usually telling Twilight where to go next. And in part 2, I almost completely forgot he was in this. Alright, Applejack is up next. Applejack is okay. She is pretty funny, I'll give her that. I really would have liked her to be the element of laughter, but there's probably a reason, but oh well. I did like the scene where we see Applejack's family and them putting together all this shit, because that was pretty funny. I liked all the apple puns, even if it was a little forced for some of the cases. Next is Rainbow Dash. Rainbow Dash is also pretty funny, and so far, she seems to be my favorite pony of the 6. I mean, she's a little cocky, but she's pretty funny. And ironically, I like her element the most so far. Loyalty. Considering I've been in a lot of trust issues, I like somebody who's loyal. You know, trusting and shit. And I know, what I just described may seem like honesty, but it's a combination of the two. It doesn't change the fact that I like Rainbow Dash. She may be cocky, but she's funny, she has a goal, and in the 2-parter, she actually develops within the span of an hour, basically. That's some good storytelling, and it didn't seem forced at all. Following that is Rarity. I'm gonna be honest, I like Rarity. She may not be the funniest, but I think she is a pretty good character. I mean, yeah, she's a little bit snobby, but I seem to like her. I don't know why, it's just weird. Next up is Fluttershy, who I swear to God has a case of bipolar shyness. In other words, she only means to be shy whenever she feels like it. Because in parts 1 and 2, there are moments where she'll talk to somebody, and by somebody I mean other ponies, and yet there are other moments where she will act up, like when we first see her with Twilight. It's weird. I like Fluttershy, she's really sweet and all that jazz, and I liked her a little bit more in the second part than first part, but that's just me. I also like that she's a Pegasi. I mean, the only other one is Rainbow Dash, for now anyway. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. And really, I hope she gets better in future episodes. Closing it out is Pinkie Pie. And Pinkie Pie, I don't like that much anyway. Like a lot of her jokes, and yeah, I know she's supposed to get better in later seasons, but from this first two-parter, she's not that funny. That's just me. I don't like a lot of her jokes, her voice can get very annoying, and it's sad that a couple of times in the two-parter, I kept telling Pinkie Pie to shut up. Because, God, she gets frustrating. As for the music, there's really only the opening, and the other one is Pinkie's song in part 2. The theme song is good. I usually tend to skip those, but yeah. And no, I'm not going to cover the theme song in every episode I'm going to be reviewing. That joke will get tedious very fast, and I don't want to talk about it again. Pinkie's song is very catchy, and that was one of the reasons I became a brony. I just got really hooked into the show because the songs were really catchy. It's like a virus. Damn it! Alright, now that I've covered a lot of the positives, it's time to cover the negatives. And I'm not talking about the moral in each episode, because really, they all pretty much work, and I'll only really address it if the moral's a problem. Since I'm not addressing it here, I don't have a problem with the moral. Back on topic. I think the first problem with it is Celestia in this series so far. In part 1, Twilight said that Celestia treated Twilight as her most trusting student. She'd never lie, she'd never do all this shit. So, when she told Twilight to go to make some friends in Equestria, I was thinking, why? Is there really a reason for this? And then we find out that the only reason she did that was for her to make friends. What?
You dumbass! You nearly put all of Equestria in danger because you wanted to prove a lesson? You are a goddamn idiot!
Yeah, sorry about that. I don't know what the hell came over me. Honestly, though, yeah, Celestia is a complete waste of time in the series, and I think it's kind of sad when Friendship is Witchcraft does a much better job portraying Celestia than you. I'll even go so far to say Princess Molestia is better, but I digress. Seriously, she put all of Equestria in danger because she wanted Twilight to learn a lesson. Eat a dick. Another problem with the episode was Pinkie, but in reality, I pretty much already covered that, but still, Pinkie's annoyed me. Another is Twilight's character, but I already mentioned that. Go back a few minutes to watch what I said about her. And that's really about it. I think the episode was, well, pretty good. Not spotless, not perfect, but it was pretty good. So that's pretty much all I gotta say. I'm the Mounty Pony. See you next time, where I'll be reviewing the Ticketmaster. Take care.